Hi everyone, my name is Lisandra Tabio and today I will be presenting art through history, ancient civilization to the Gothic period. This presentation, in this presentation, I will discuss how art reflects religion, culture, government, power, and daily life throughout different historical periods. We will begin by exploring art of ancient civilization, such as uh, Egyptian, uh, Greek, and Roman art, and then we're gonna discuss some medieval and Gothic period, and finally we're gonna look at how this artistic tradition continues to influence society and culture today. Thank you for your time, and I hope you enjoy my presentation. We're gonna talk about ancient Egyptian, which Egyptian art was closely connected to religion and the belief in the afterlife. Egyptian decorated tombs with painting and sculptures because they believe these artworks will help them and protect them after they decease in the next life. Also, pharaohs were often shown as larger than other people to symbolize the power and somehow special connection to the gods. Um, Moreover, the pyramids, temples, and statues also reflected the strength, wealth, and organization of Egyptian civilization. Um, Through this work of art, we can better understand the belief, values, and culture of ancient Egypt. And now we're gonna talk about ancient Greece, uh, where art become much more focused on realism and the beauty of human body. Greek artists carefully study anatomy and movement to create sculptures that look natural and lifelike. Somehow they story even the you know um, age signs and all of that to make the sculpture look more real possible and more human-like or lifelike. Also, many of these sculptures represented God, athletes, and important leaders because they admire physical strength, intelligence, and excellence. Also, Greek architects also designed impressive temples such as the Parthenon using balance, symmetry, and mathematical precision. This building were, dedicated to the gods, but they also show the pride and achievement of Greek society. Even today, many government buildings, museums, and monuments around the world are inspired by Greek architecture and artistic ideals. Now we're gonna talk about ancient Rome. Um, let's explore ancient Rome because this is really important and interesting. Um, they were greatly influenced by Greek art. They place a stronger emphasis on realism instead of creating idealized figures. Roman sculptures and portraits often show people exactly as they look, including signs of age and other unique features. This reflected the Roman appreciation for experience, leadership, and individual achievements. Also, Romans also decorated their homes and public buildings with colorful mosaics and detailed wall painting that illustrate everyday life, mythology, and somehow historical events. Art also was also used to celebrate military victories, powerful emperors, and its successful of Roman Empire. In addition, Roman engineering transformed architecture through the construction of roads, aqueducts, bridges, and colosseum, which many of them continue to influence our architecture and engineering around our world today. Now we're gonna do some little comparison between all those three civilization, and we can compare the art of ancient Egyptian, Greece, and Rome. Even though each civilization developed its own artistic style, they all use art to express their belief, values, cultures, and political powers. Ancient Egyptian art focused mainly on religion and the belief in the afterlife, um, while Egyptian created painting, sculpture, pyramids, and temples to honor the gods and pharaohs. Their artwork followed, strict rules with symbolic and formal style that remain consistent for centuries. In contrast, ancient Greek art emphasized in beauty, balance, and the ideal human body. Greek artists carefully studied the anatomy and proportion to create realistic sculpture of gods, athletes, and heroes. Their temples were designed with perfect mathematical proportions, reflecting their appreciation to harmony and some order. Also, the Romans admired Greek art and they adopted many of its ideas, but also developed their own style. Roman art focused more on realism, political power, military achievement, and also engineering, which is very important to know. Their sculpture and portraits show emperors and important citizens with realistic details, while their architecture, including impressive structure and um, has a aqueduct, roads, and colosseum, which we can see um, today. And now we're gonna talk more about medieval art. Medieval period, when art became closely connected to Christianity and the teaching of the church. During this time, the church was the most powerful institution in Europe. So churches and monasteries become the main center of where artists created their work. Most medieval art had religious purpose rather than focusing on everyday life or individual expression. Also, artists created painting, mosaics, and beautifully decorated, illuminated manuscripts to tell stories from the Bibles and teach Christian belief. Since this is very important, since many people couldn't read at all, this work served as a visual lesson to help them understand and to teach them about the Bible and the importance of religion and moral values. Now we're gonna talk about Gothic art. Let's move to Gothic period, making a major development in art and architecture that reflected the importance of faith and the power of the church. Gothic cathedrals were designed with a tall tower and pointing arcs that made building appear more taller, and these have a reason. The main reason is to illustrate those towers as more closer to heaven, or creating a sense of wonder and spirituality. And one of the most recognizable features of the Gothic church was their large stained glass windows. As colorful windows filled the interior with the light while illustrating a story from the Bibles and making it easier for people to learn about Christianity. Another important architectural innovation was the use of fine buttresses. This external support allowed cathedrals to be both taller and stronger while making the room, larger or making the room larger with big windows and more open interior spaces. Also, Gothic churches were also decorated with sculptures, um, carvings, and other artistic details that honor saints and represent the important biblical events. Overall, Gothic art and agriculture were designed to inspire our strengthen people's faith and demonstrate the importance of religion in the this society. Now we're gonna do a little comparison with those two civilization, medieval and Gothic periods, and show how art and architecture developed over time while continuing to serve religion purpose. During the medieval period, art focused mainly on religion, as we discussed, and teaching and helping people understand the Christian faith. The artistic style was generally simple, symbolic, and less realistic because the main goal was, to communicate the spiritual message rather than create something lifelike or lifelike image. Um, Illustrated manuscripts and colorful mosaics were some of the most common form of art, and churches serve as important center of worship, education, and community life. During the Gothic period, religion remained the center focus, and artists, architects found new ways to inspire faith through impressive building and detailed artwork. um, Gothic art become more realistic and decorative with greater attention to natural detail and human expression. Large stained glass window and beautiful cave sculpture were really common features that illustrate stories from the Bibles and honor somehow saints. Um, Gothic cathedrals were also much taller, brighter, and more elaborate than earlier churches because of the innovations such as pointed arch and flying buttresses. Um, Also, those periods emphasized in Christianity, the Gothic style combined religion devotion with remarkable architectural and artistic achievement that continue to inspire people today. Um, Now we're gonna do a little talk about how some art creation were preserved through the ages. It's very interesting this slide because you know uh, I'm gonna explain some of the reason why or some of the main reason why these art were preserved through the history and exist today to for the public. One important reason is that many artwork were created using durable materials such as stone, marble, and bronze, which can withstand the effect of time much better than wood or other fragile materials. Many important works were also preserved because they were in a religion building, temples, churches, monasteries, and other sacred sites where they respected and protected from centuries. Today, museum plays a major role in preservation, in restoring historical objects so that the future generation can continue to learn from them. Um, Very important thing to know that also, although many important works of art have survived throughout the history, countless others has been lost and destroyed. Natural disasters such as earthquake, flood, and fire has been damaged painting, sculpture, monuments, and entire historical sites. Um, Also, wars and armed conflicts have also caused the destruction of many cultural treasures, either intentionally or as a result of fighting. Um, Even when artwork are not affected by disaster or war, whether and the passage of time can slowly wear the away building, fade painting, and erode stone sculpture. Another challenge is that some artwork were created using fragile materials such as wood, cloth, or paper, which naturally deteriorate over the time. And if they are not carefully preserved, um, uh, it's probably they're gonna disappear. Um, Thus, losses remind us why protecting and preserving cultural heritage is so important. Allowing this allow future generations to continue to learn about the history, belief, and achievement of past civilization. Um, we do next a little conclusion. As I conclude this presentation, I think art continues to play an important role in society, just as it did in ancient and medieval civilization. Modern art reflects today's technology, culture, and social issues while giving artists the freedom to express their identity, emotion, and personal experiences. Moreover, art also continues to influence the way people communicate, share their ideas, and connect with other across different cultures and communities. Working on this presentation helped me to understand that art is much more than something beautiful to look at. It reflects the history, belief, values, and daily life of people who created it. By studying civilizations such as ancient Egypt, Greece, Rome, and looking more about medieval and Gothic period, I have gained a greater appreciation of how art represents history and help us understand different cultures. Thank you for watching my presentation. I hope you found it informative and enjoy learning about impact of art throughout history. Now for my last slide list, this is a list of the sources I use to prepare my presentation, and also I include the required course textbook, um, Gardens Art Through the Ages, along with reliable sources from museum and educational organization. These reference help me better understand the art of Egyptian, Greece, Rome, and the medieval period and the Gothic period, as well as the importance of preventing cultural heritage. Using trustworthy sources allow me to present accurate information and gain a deeper understanding of how art reflects history, religion, culture, government, and society. Thank you for taking the time to watch, and I hope you found it um, really good. Thank you very much.